A hot topic these days, the sharing economy. Although last year in a Convene survey, a very small percentage of planners said they think Airbnb poses a threat to their room block, the sharing platform continues to attract users. Here with more is Convene Editor-in-Chief Michelle Russell and Mike Dominguez from MGM Resorts.
So do you think planners and venues can afford to turn a blind eye to the sharing economy, Mike? Or do you think they should counter it, or should they embrace it? And how can they do that?
You know, it's a great question, because I was at an industry event recently, and the debate they were having with planners and suppliers was the sharing economy good? Was it bad? And I said, can we just say it is? Because it's here. And let's quit arguing whether it's good or bad, and we'll talk about how are we going to embrace it? What does it look like? And I really think we need to keep it in perspective. You know, Airbnb, for example, this year will be just under $1 billion in revenue. Our entire industry in hotel sales is going to be $150 billion. It's not even 1% of rooms being sold. It's under 1% of total rooms being sold. So I think there's a little more hype with the media and the exposure because it's new, it's disruptive. But I also go back to behavior, and I always look at behavior, and the behavior has not changed that often. You know, I lived most of my adult life in Southern California. Most of my friends rented beach houses during the summer. They've been renting beach houses or going to Napa and renting people's homes for years. What's happened with Airbnb, it's been made easy for us to do that. I don't see the behavior changing that dramatically. And candidly, where Airbnb has exposure, you look at it in New York, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Chicago, there's all one thing in common. There's more demand and inventory in those cities. So there's a necessity for Airbnb. And if we think that we're losing rooms outside the block to Airbnb, our planners should be working with Airbnb to say, how do I get you in my block? Because people are going to utilize it. And I'm a firm believer that we live in an on-demand society. People are going to buy and do what they want to do in the way they want to do it. It's incumbent upon us to be able to incorporate that. And Airbnb actually presented at the World Education Congress. The senior vice president did a flashpoint session. And what was interesting is he talked about he worked with South by Southwest because all the hotel rooms were full, and Airbnb became their service to be able to still accommodate the people that wanted to come for the event.
Excellent. Okay, something for planners to keep their eye on. Thanks very much, Mike.
Thank you.
And so the conversation expands. Mike even says there are already hotels giving inventory to Airbnb to sell. For Convene TV, produced by CNTV, I'm Carrie Fairner.